So now we're going to dive into the partnership aspect of our relationship. And this is where a lot of us get stuck once we have kids. You know, bringing kids into our lives gets us into this space of who's doing what needs to be done, is the kid taken care of, are we alive, who's going to work, we are not sleeping. It's just this crazy, crazy time, right? And so what we found is that if we don't get really intentional about how we can handle this area of our lives and build this solid foundation like a partnership in business does. So when you join or you start a new partnership in business, what do? You figure out who has what strengths, who's going to take on what roles, what needs to be done. You create systems for it. You get leverage where you can use it. And that's how you build a business foundation. So why should it be any different for building a relationship foundation with your partnership? And that's the piece that we realized made such a huge difference in getting us out of being stuck there, was building that foundation.
Totally. And a big part of partnership really is communication.
Absolutely.
You know, because if you're just kind of floundering around, you know, randomly picking things up or whatever it is that you need to get done, you're not going to move forward, and you're not going to create the time and space in order to build the friendship and the lover aspects. So you really need to communicate with your partner on, you know, on the strengths and the roles and the responsibilities of your relationship in order to free up that time.
Right. So some of the simple things that we did in this area is, and this is the exercise that you'll go through, is, you know, we defined what our ideal vision was for our partnership based on our combined visions and our combined strengths, where we went for so long. Like, I remember I would get really frustrated when Lance wouldn't take out the trash, or he wouldn't do this specific thing. And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, what if I took out the trash? I don't take out the trash, but bad example, actually. But, you know, doing the laundry. Oh, right. You know what, Lance, I do the laundry, or I make dinner. You know what, Lance never makes dinner, or Lance never does the laundry. And I started to think about, let's back into the trash thing, actually, where you do always take out the trash. Or there are so many, you always make the lunch for the kids. And I was focusing on what he didn't do. And right. Instead of focusing on what he does do, and then what I do, and realizing that all of these things need to get done, and someone has to do them, and the one that either low-hanging fruit is more apt to doing something, or is better at doing something, should really be the person doing it.
Yeah, you know, and you reminded me another point with the communication part, because if you're not communicating really who's going to do what, right. Then you're kind of stuck in blame, or like if you have like small children, like, well, I'm always the one changing the diapers, or, right. You know, so if you don't communicate even needs to that, can you help me with this, or even right. Taking charge of certain situations, and, you know, without that communication, then there's the resentment of, you know, I'm doing more in this relationship than there, and then suddenly blame and sets in as well. So.
Which is the big thing that we see happening, and happened to us in this area, is we got stuck in this partnership space where it was disorganized, we had a lack of communication, and we were constantly frustrated, constantly blaming each other. Yeah. And what happened is, once we began to create this vision, figure out the systems that we needed and the communication tools that we needed to streamline this business area of our relationship, it got us to a place of freedom, and we were able to start to develop a friendship together and develop our lover aspect of our relationship, where when we were stuck in this space, we didn't even have time or energy, or didn't even care to really jump into those other areas. So getting this section of the work done is really, really important.
Yeah, and it goes a long way for the two of you to be able to create a vision plan, you know, that goes far beyond, you know, what you think is even possible.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Cool. I think that's it for partnership. Next we'll be talking about friendship.